5-0 lead. Cleveland in full desperation mode, down 2-0 to Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift in the house. That was about the extent of the Cleveland motivation in this one. Look at Mikal Bridges all the way. He was 11 of 15 from the field in this one. Knicks fans traveled well. They took a 9-1 lead on Cleveland. More in the first quarter. Karl Anthony Towns, a harbinger of things to come. Cleveland's defense was atrocious. Midway through the second quarter, James Harden to the paint. Spin cycle. Harden had 19. Kelce fired up. Cleveland within 2, and then a couple of possessions later, Harden all the way down Broadway to tie it at 48. Offense wasn't the problem for the Cavs, it was defense. Look at Jalen Brunson right to the cup. Brunson had 38 in game 1. He had 14 assists in game 2. In game 3, he did a little bit of everything, getting to his spot, knocking it down. Knicks in front at the break, 8-1 in the postseason when leading at halftime. Cleveland 3-6 when trailing at the half. Knicks led it by 6 at the intermission. Third quarter, more from New York. In transition, OG Anunoby to Bridges, one of 27 assists for the Knicks in this game. Midway through the third, Anunoby, what a weapon he is. You figure you got to account for Brunson and Towns. Anunoby does it all, and then Brunson to the cup. Knicks pulling away in front by 12. A minute to go in the third. Harden. And 1. Cleveland within 7 after the made free throw. But at the other end, Brunson, step back, you don't know me like that. He had a huge alley-oop assist before the end of the third quarter. Knicks led by 9, headed to the fourth. Early fourth, Hart, Bridges. The lead was 14. Cleveland had no answers. And then Landry Shamet off the bench again for the Knicks. New York in front by 14. Shamet one more time. Shamet was 4 of 5 from the field. Every one of them a three-pointer. 14 points off the bench. The Knicks in control. And then Brunson. 41 minutes, 30 points, 6 assists. It won't be talked about, but the Knicks made their free throws, 24 of 27. And this one is all over but the crying. 121, 108. The Knicks, in what was a must-win game for the Cavaliers, come away with the victory at a 3-0 series lead.
You hear chants, let's go Knicks, MVP.
Very, very pathetic. Gave up 37 points in the first quarter with any degree of urgency whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if we did an investigation and we discovered that half the team had already made vacation reservations. I mean, it just looked that way. They were devoid of any kind of urgency whatsoever. And the New York Knicks are just playing together. I understand that they're flowing. I understand that they could serve to demoralize you. There's no way around that. But the flip side to it is you're on your home turf, and there's an incredible level of urgency that comes attached to it. And the New York Knicks just gave it to them. Brunson had his 30. Of course, Anunoby had his 21. Can't say enough about Mikal Bridges and the way that he's been playing as of late. In these playoffs, he is just in his bag. He is flowing. And Landry Shamet coming off the bench and dropping 11 points in the fourth quarter. All of those things can contribute to a victory. But what possible explanation could you have if you watch some of the plays that took place as the game waned, when you saw the absence of urgency in terms of their defensive effort? It was absolutely non-existent whatsoever. They gave up. They caved. And as a result, Just bring out the broomsticks. I think you saw Charles Barkley on the inside the NBA and stuff like that in the immediate aftermath while the rest of the crew was on the set. He was sweeping the floors of the studio because he's bringing the brooms. He's bringing the brooms because in Cleveland, it's a mess.
It is indeed that, Stephen A. You know, we talked last night following the Oklahoma City win about the play of Jared McCain, and you mentioned Landry Shamet. He was that tonight for a Knicks team. How would you characterize the overall depth of this Knicks squad?
Well, you know what? You didn't realize how good it was. You had expectations at the beginning of the season, and then obviously Mike Brown wasn't utilizing his bench to the manner that you thought that he would. And then you had some question marks about them, and then you saw Mikal Bridges nosedive. You had some serious questions about him, but give credit where credit is due. If I was loud and making noise when Mikal Bridges was struggling, I'm damn sure going to be just as loud in praising him. He was fantastic in this game, hitting all but 3 of his shots, giving you over 20, giving you stout defense along the way, letting you know you couldn't leave him open. And then Landry Shamet has been a godsend. He has come off the bench and has just been drilling shots from long range all over the place. That has opened things up for a guy like Jalen Brunson to operate. It's opened things up for Karl Anthony Towns to be the facilitator that he is, and because it's pulling people away from the basket, it's even given the likes of Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby room to operate on the interior, which again can serve to demoralize the Cleveland Cavaliers as it has shown, but you still don't expect a team trying to get to the NBA Finals to look so lethargic defensively. No energy whatsoever. Change has got to be coming in Cleveland. I'd be shocked if there were a game 5 at this point. They look like they've already made their reservations for off-season vacation. They just look that way. You can see it.
When we talk about the Knicks, though, and the way that they are winning these games, the variety of players who are contributing night in and night out, the variety of ways in which we see them get the dub, 10 straight wins for this Knicks team.
Yeah.
I mean, just talk about the impressive nature of that stretch.
Well, here's what you have to look at when you think about the impressive nature. The New York Knicks came into this season with an owner in James Dolan that said we should make the NBA Finals. They had fired Tom Thibodeau, who took them within 2 games of the NBA Finals last year. So let's be real. Nothing less was going to suffice. If you lost, it had damn sure had better be in the Eastern Conference Finals. And even then, that was pushing it. But here they are within 1 game of the NBA Finals now. They were top 6 both offensively and defensively in terms of efficiency. But then when you take into account the playoffs, you go down 2-1 after 2 consecutive 1-point losses to Atlanta. And what do you do thereafter? Not only do you win 3 straight, but you're up by 47 in the first half of the closeout game in Atlanta. You go up against Philly, who has a 3-1 deficit. They overcome it against Boston, knocking off the Boston Celtics. And it's supposed to be a legitimate series. You sweep them, not just beat them. You sweep them, and you blow them out their own building in a closeout game. And now here you are having won a 3rd straight game against the Cleveland Cavaliers team